Well, hello everyone. My name is Steven Ziegler and I am with a Crafty Situation and Mosaic Moments, and I wanted to welcome you to our presentation for our Make and Take for the Shop at Home live event. We're so excited to be joining you today. We have got a great project in store for you that includes a 12 by 12 full scrapbook page as well as a Mosaic Moments greeting card for you. So in just a moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my camera down towards my work table. I'm going to show you the project that we're going to be working on, and then we're going to work on making it together so that you have a beautiful finished scrapbook page and card when we're complete. Toward the end of my presentation, I will talk about how you can add on a companion page if you're a scrapbooker and you wanted to have a nice two-page layout. And I'll also talk to you about some great deals and specials that we have available on our website on craftysituation.com. So give me just a moment, I'll point my camera downwards and we will get started. All right, so everyone should be able to see my work surface. What I've got on my work surface here is the two projects that we're going to be working on. The first thing that we're going to get started on working on is our 12 by 12 scrapbook page. This is the 12 by 12 page. It is done on our Mosaic Moments grid paper, which I'll discuss in a second. We're going to be using paper that is from Doodlebug. So I know that Doodlebug made a presentation earlier today, so we're happy to be using paper from their I Heart Travel collection for our 12 by 12 page. And we're going to be using our basic dies for our squares and our rectangles, and our film strip dies to make our film strips here in the middle. What I like about this page and what I like about this card is it's just a fun, festive page for pretty much any occasion, vacations, birthdays, parties, anything that you can think of. And there's quite a bit of space to put different photos that you may have of different sizes. And not only that, but you can also add photos into the little film strip areas just for kind of a nice added effect if you like that. So, and then this card is a standard greeting card that you could send to someone. The greeting card that was in your envelope came, or excuse me, it was in your package, came with an envelope. So you do have an envelope to send. It's a little bit bigger than our standard greeting card size, but that's why we provide the envelope for you so you're not having to try to figure out the exact size. But you are able to use standard postage when you send it in the mail. So I like this as just an everyday card, just for hellos or greetings to a friend. This is our greeting card that we're going to be working on. I'm going to sit our project up to the top left-hand corner. And if you're not familiar with Mosaic Moments, we primarily do scrapbooking, and we just got started doing card making with our Mosaic Moments grid cards. But everything starts with the base of our grid paper. And what our grid paper is it's standard scrapbook size grid paper that measures 12 by 12 inches. We do have some smaller sizes also available in 8.5 by 11, 8 by 8, or 6 by 6 inches. But what all of our grid has is it's got printed grid that has a top and a left-hand line. And what happens is when we go to place our different elements on, like for instance our green rectangles, our green squares, or our blue rectangles, what we're going to do is we're going to work to align those items up to the grid to just cover the grid, but not go over. And the reason why we do that is because then our finished product is a nice, finished, clean scrapbook page. Everything lines up vertically and horizontally, which is nice and appealing to the eye, and the grid's covered up. So your final audience, either the person that receives your Mosaic Moments grid card or the person that's looking at your scrapbook page, never knows that there was a grid underneath. They think that you just lined everything up naturally, or maybe you used a ruler or something like that, but really you had this grid underneath to make everything nice and easy for you. So this is our Mosaic Moments grid paper. We have a grid card that has that same grid printed on that we're going to be using in just a second. And then the other thing that we're going to be using is our repositionable adhesive. I like the Easy Dots repositionable adhesive by Scrapbook Adhesive by 3L. But you're really able to use any adhesive that you have. I use repositionable adhesive because, again, our goal when we're placing things on the grid is to just cover the grid line without going over. Sometimes I will either overshoot the grid or not cover it up enough. So what I want to do in that case is I want to be able to have an adhesive that's really easy to pull an element up and reposition it without having to get that spatula tool out or anything like that. So this repositionable adhesive is nice because it starts off repositionable and then in about 24 hours it becomes more permanent and without having to do anything else. So I'm going to be using that. In your kits, everybody should have a number of different elements. You've got some film strip pieces that I'll go over in a second. You've got some rectangles, some squares, some things like that. So if you haven't opened your kit now, I'll ask you to open your kit. What you're going to be looking for primarily right now is you're going to be looking for your film strip pieces. You should have a total of 5 different film strip pieces. And then you're going to be looking for a series of white pieces. You should have 2 squares, and then you should have 3 white rectangles. So those are the things that you're going to need to pull out right now. You're going to need to pull out your 2 white squares, your 3 white rectangles, and your film strip pieces. Now, these 5 film strip pieces were cut out using our film strip dies. And what Mosaic Moments has is we have over 200 different die sets that cut various different shapes and sizes, and I'll show you some examples at the end of our presentation here. These happen to cut out film strips. Now what's unique about all of our dies is all of our dies, whether they're squares or they're rectangles or they're other shapes, they are designed by our founder, Tammy Potter, to perfectly fit the grid. So you'll see on our packages and on our information that it might say something like film strip 2x4 and 2x2. What the 2x4 and 2x2 means is that it fills 2 squares by 4 squares on the grid, or it fills 2 squares by 2 squares. So when I cut this out using my die, and everybody has cutouts of these in their packages that have already been pre-cut for them, but when I cut this out using my die and I put this onto my grid paper, I know that this is going to exactly measure 2 squares by 4 squares on my die because I used my Mosaic Moments die to cut it out. So like I said, there's over 200 different die sets. I'll show you some examples of some other things that we can make, but everything is measured to fit our grid to make it nice and easy and simple to use. Now what I'm going to do and what I'll ask you to do as your first step is you're going to take your adhesive, and what we're going to do is we're going to glue our black film strip squares and rectangles onto the corresponding white square or rectangle. And the way that you're going to want to do this is you're going to want to use your adhesive. And what you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to place your adhesive onto the back of the black. The reason why you're going to want to do that is because if you place adhesive onto the white, you might end up putting too much adhesive on by mistake. So I'll just ask you to place some adhesive onto the black rectangles, or the black film strips, I'm sorry. And you're going to want to adhere them onto the white rectangles, and they should fit pretty exact. They're measured to fit just on top or to overlay just on top. So here's an example of one of the black rectangles, one of the black film strip pieces, and it's already been glued to the white rectangle. So you're going to want to do that 4 more times, 2 more for each of the rectangle pieces, and then 2 for each of the squares. So I'll go ahead and do that. While I'm doing this, I did want to tell you that our grid paper that we have, we're using our white grid paper right now, but our grid paper actually comes in over 90 different colors. So if you have another favorite color that's not white, let's say it's pink or purple or green, we not only have the color that will probably suit your taste, but we have many different shades of all of the different colors. So if you like pink, we've got a fluorescent pink, we've got a light pink, we've got a regular pink. So we've got a bunch of different colors, and then we also have theme packs. And what our theme packs are is they are 12 packs of 2 sheets of 6 different colors. So we have things that are like a cruise theme, or we have ones that are more tie-dye. So we have a lot of different grid paper in our 12 by 12 size to really, for anybody's color palette. So you're not just stuck with white. Our grid cards do come in the white color, and then like I said, we do have different sizes of grid paper for if you'd like to do your pocket scrapbooking with either your 6x6 or your 8x8. So what I've done so far now is I've glued my 3 black film strips, rectangles, to my 3 rectangles, my 3 white rectangles, and I'm going to just do that same thing now with the square piece, with the square film strip piece. And again, these were cut from our film strip 2x4 and 2x2 set. There's a third set that's part of our series. It's called the film strip 2x5 set. And as you probably guessed from the set's name, it covers 2 squares by 5 squares on our grid. And I will show you an example towards the end of our presentation of a page that makes. So we've got 2 different film strip sets. We're working with a film strip 2x4 and 2x2 set. We've also got the 2x5 set that's available. All right, I am just about finished here with this, and hopefully you've been able to stay with me here. If not, the nice thing is this is a recording, so you'll be able to stop this or pause this while you're able to catch up with me. All right, so we're working on our scrapbook page first. So what you're going to need to have out in front of you is you're going to need to have 2 of the white rectangles and 2 of the white squares. The other piece, the other rectangle that you cut, just lay that to the side because we're going to use that for our card in just a moment. The next pieces that you're going to need out from your kit are going to be the 2 blue rectangles, the 4 green squares, and then the 2 camera designer pieces that were cut from our Doodlebug I Heart Travel paper. So if you'll get those pieces out, what we're going to do is we're going to start building our scrapbook page. And what you're going to see is this page goes together in about 3 minutes. It's a very quick and easy page to put together. I'm just going to move it down a little bit so I can line everything up. What you're going to want to do with your grid paper, if you haven't done so already, is you're going to want to start so that the Tammy Potter copyright 2001 logo is in the top left-hand corner. The reason why I have it in the top left-hand corner is that way so that when I'm lining things up to my grid using my elements, I am lining up so that my lines are to the top and to the left, which is kind of a natural orientation that we're used to using. So I'm going to start with one of my green squares. You should have 4 green squares. You're going to use one of the green squares, and you're going to place that in the top left-hand corner. And again, your goal with your adhesive and when placing your element is to just cover those grid lines without going over. If you're using repositionable adhesive and you happen to cover too much, just pick it right back up and put it down where it's supposed to be. And now what I'm going to do is I've got my example over here to the left. I'm going to just work my way across the top of my page. The next thing that I need is I need my blue rectangle. And so I'm going to place adhesive onto the back of that. I'm going to glue my blue rectangle down, and I'm just going to keep working across my page like that. So you should have your green square and your blue rectangle down. And when you are working on pages yourself, you can really work in any direction that you'd like to. I like to start in the top left-hand corner. Some other people like to start with the biggest elements and work their way to the smallest elements. Some people like to be random and start in the middle or anywhere that they'd like. It's really up to you. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no book that says you have to start in the top left-hand corner. I just did that for ease sake for this video. But I've got my whole top row done now. I've got my 2 green squares and I've got my 1 blue rectangle. Now I'm going to do my film strip pieces in the middle. Now the way I did my film strip pieces is I'm going to start with my black rectangular piece first. I'm going to place my adhesive onto the back of that, and I'm going to glue that down first right under my green square. So that's the first thing that's going to go down. All right, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of my black film strip square pieces, and I'm going to place that right beside the rectangle piece. So far I've used a rectangle and I've used a film strip square, and I've placed the rectangle and then the square right next to it. Now I'm going to use another one of my film strip squares, place adhesive on the back, and I'm going to place that directly below my previous square. So you're going to kind of see here how this is all starting to come together now here. I've got my rectangle, I've got my first square, and I've got my second square right down below it. And then my final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my final rectangle piece, place some adhesive onto that, and I'm going to place that right next to my bottom square. So if you're following along here, it should go rectangle and then square, and then right below the square it should be another square and then a rectangle off on the right-hand side. So that's how we did that design in the middle. The 2 other things that I'm going to add in the middle then are the 2 pieces that I cut with my I Heart Travel camera paper from Doodlebug. So I'm going to place my adhesive onto the back of that. Line that up with my grid lines and stick that down. Just make sure your words are facing up so that you can read those. Unless you want it to be upside down, but it should say cheese and smile and lovely. I just love this paper. I like the paper and I like the paper pack because I like to travel. Well, when there's not COVID-19, I like to travel and go and see things, and I always have my camera with me. So this paper kind of describes me perfectly. So what we've done here is we've glued our top 3 elements, our 2 squares and our rectangle. And then we've glued our film strip pieces down and our designer paper down. The final thing I'm going to do to complement my scrapbook page is I'm just going to repeat what I did at the top and glue my 2 green squares and my blue rectangle down. Now the green squares in the corners and the blue rectangle were cut with our basic dies. And what our basic dies contain is they contain all of the squares and all of the rectangles that you need in order to make any mosaic pattern using squares and rectangles. And they kind of form the basis for our mosaic system. So I'll talk about those again in a couple of minutes, but I just wanted to introduce those now. If you're brand new to Mosaic Moments and you like this look, we do have our basic die set and our pattern book on a fabulous deal that's kind of our last opportunity to get that deal today. So I'm excited to talk to you about that, but that's how that was cut. So you can see here in just a few moments, we were able to complete our scrapbook page just by lining our elements up to our grid lines on the left and on the top, and just by gluing our elements down. So again, our film strip pieces were cut with the film strip dies, with this die set here, and then we've also got its companion, the 2x5 set. And then our squares and our rectangles were cut using our basic dies that I'll go over again in just a moment. So that is your completed scrapbook page. There will be a companion page that we'll introduce in just a second. The next thing that I wanted to do, though, is I wanted to start with the Mosaic Moments grid card. And the card, again, I'll move our scrapbook page to the side. Our card looks like this. And on our card, what we have is we have a grid that's 4 squares by 6 squares. And the card can either open like a standard card that opens from bottom to top, or it can open from right to left. Our card that we decided to make here opens from right to left. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your strips of squares that you have here. Everybody should have 16 squares. Some of them might still be stuck together like this, where they're just being held together by what we call a little chat or a little piece of paper. The reason why we have these held together like this for you is so that you're not trying to find all of the squares when they blow out of your bag or you sneeze or anything like that. The other reason why we do it, though, is because when you go to apply them onto your card like they're done here, all you need to do is take your adhesive and just run one strip the whole way across all of your squares, and then all you simply need to do is to pull them apart and stick them down onto your grid. So what I'll have you do now, and I've already done this in advance, is what you're going to do is you're going to take your card, and your card probably came like this in your package. You're going to fold it in half, and then you'll want to take your bone folder and want to make a nice crease along the edge to give you a good flat card. Since we're going to be opening our card from right to left, what you're going to have is you're going to have your grid on the side, the left-hand side, and on the bottom. So that Tammy Potter logo is going to be on the bottom left-hand corner. And that's fine. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to apply adhesive to each of your 4 squares, or each of your 16 squares, and then put them 4 in a row, the top 2 rows and the bottom 2 rows. When you finish, what your card is going to look like is it's going to look like this, because I've already done this to save us a little bit of time on camera. I've already taken my squares and I've already put the glue on the back of them and glued them down to my card. So when you're finished, your card in progress is going to look like my card here. So I'll give you a few moments to do that. The other thing that you're going to have as you're working is you're going to have either a rectangle or a square that has some words and has an image ready for you to punch out. So what you'll want to do is either using your snips or very carefully just cut out or punch out your camera and your word sayings. So you'll want to do that to go ahead and prepare for our card. And I've got that already finished. So I've got my camera and I've got my words ready to add to my card. And it's going to say I love, and then half of the word smile, and then the other part's going to say you are, and then the L and the E from smile. And then you're also going to need that film strip rectangle piece that we put together in the very beginning of this presentation. So if you're a little bit behind, that's not a big deal. You're able to pause this video and come back. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started assembling our card. I've got my film strip piece, and that's the very first thing that I'm going to put onto my card. I'm going to line that up with the left hand and the bottom grid lines. Very similar to what I did with the scrapbook page, except now my grid lines are on the left and on the bottom. So I'm just going to line that up. And then what I did for my camera is all I'm going to do is I'm going to just apply adhesive onto the back, just at a few different areas here. And then I'm just going to stick my camera, and I didn't do any rhyme or reason with my camera. I just kind of placed it kind of centered and a little bit skewed, a little bit angled, just on the top of my card. I didn't put it anywhere in particular or get a ruler out or measure or anything. I just kind of placed it with eyesight on the top. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my words. I'm going to apply adhesive. I'm going to start with the I love, and then I'll move to the other part of my words here. You can either use your repositionable adhesive on this. If you have liquid glue, you can use that. Some people have one of my new favorite things. It's called sticky specs. You could use those as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place this down here. And I try to just get it a little centered using my eyesight here. So I've got the I love, and then I'm going to just place my LE in my word your there. And then that'll finish up my card. So again, the cards work very similar to the way the 12 by 12 scrapbook page does. It just, you just use the grid to line everything up. And then on this, for just this technique, I am just placing basically an overlay on top of my squares just to give myself a little bit of a greeting here. And this could be hello, it could be happy birthday, it could be happy anniversary, thanks, sorry. So you could substitute really any greeting here that you have. I just loved, since we did a 12 by 12 scrapbook page with the film strip set, I just loved using the film strip set and doing something that related to cameras. So I love your smile, I thought was a great addition to it. So that is our project, our 12 by 12 scrapbook page and our Mosaic Moments grid card. As I had mentioned just a moment ago, our grid cards do come complete. They come in a package like this. We sell them in 12 packs. So you'll get the grid card itself, and then you'll get envelopes that go along with it. So that way you're not hunting for envelopes. And our envelopes look like this. They match the size of the card, and it's standard postage to send it through the United States Postal Service. A 12 pack of cards is normally $15.99. We're going to give you a coupon code that you're going to get 25% off your entire purchase. So that includes grid cards. So that's going to take those down by 25% and make them quite a bit cheaper for you for this special. The other thing that I wanted to show to you is we do have companion pages that, that is available. So with our companion page, we've designed something that looks like this. And this is a companion page kit that you can get. And we're actually going to tell you in just a minute, this is free if you make a $30 purchase with us. So this is the companion page. It's the same colors that you used on your standard, on your make and take page. And then on the bottom here, what we're using is we're using our 2x5 film strip die. So we're using our film strip 2x5 die here. And what's nice about this page is this page here has 6 places for photos plus 6 individual places inside the film strip. This actually has 8 places for photos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus 6 additional areas for pictures inside the film strip. So quite a lot of area for pictures in this 2-page layout. All right, so let me just switch over here my screen. I wanted to describe to you the specials that we have for today. You're going to go to craftysituation.com to shop. craftysituation.com to shop. And the most important thing for you to remember, even if you're working, I'll ask you to look up for a second. The most important thing for you to remember is you're going to want to use the code FILM. The coupon code or promo code FILM, when you're finished shopping, you're going to want to use that. And here's the reason why. Not only are you going to receive 25% off your entire dies, grid paper, grid cards, adhesives, and tools purchase, but then you're also going to be eligible to receive the free Film Strip Fun companion kit page if you spend $30. So I'll flip back over again. This page here is our companion page. You're going to receive, the green squares, the green rectangle, the blue squares, the designer paper, and the film strip pieces. They're already pre-cut. All you need to do is you just need to follow the picture diagram and just assemble those in the same way that you assembled your first page, and then you're going to have a complete 2-page layout. So this is a $6 value. This does come for free if you spend $30 and you use that promo code FILM. The other specials that we have for you are, if you spend $75, you're going to receive our free mini loop die set, a mini loop border die set. So you're going to receive that for free. So that is our first special if you spend $75. And that's one of my favorite die sets. It makes, and I'll show you what the die set looks like, and I'll show you the page that it makes here. This is the die set that you were to receive for free with a $75 purchase. So with $75, I want to be clear, you'll receive the companion page kit and you'll receive the mini loop border set for free. And this is one of the beautiful layouts that it can do, the mini loop border can do. So it doesn't necessarily need to be combined with the film strip. You can use them separately, but it makes this really cute border that can go around the entire scrapbook page, or could go around individual pictures if you'd like. That's really up to you, but that comes to you along for free as well. The next thing to tell you is if you spend $125, you're going to receive the companion kit. You're going to receive the mini loop border set. But then the other thing that you're going to receive is you're going to receive a free Doodlebug companion pack. So I know a lot of you saw Doodlebug's presentation earlier today. We actually have a little companion pack available that's going to help you make some more Mosaic Moments pages or other scrapbooking pages. And what that package has in is it has in a little I Heart Travel odds and ends pack. So it's going to include that. It's going to include 2 Mosaic Moments grid cards, so you can make 2 additional cards. It's going to include 4 sheets of designer paper. So it's going to include 4 double-sided sheets. The first side has on the cameras with the beautiful sayings, and the second side has on the cameras, the blue cameras that we used for our layout, so that you can make more similar layouts or more cards if you'd like. And then you're going to receive some coordinating card stock. So you're going to receive the lime green that we used, you're going to receive the blue that we used, and then you're also going to receive a selection of Mosaic Moments grid paper, 2 sheets of that as well. So that's a $14.99 value. Again, this is a free, we're calling it our Doodlebug companion kit that comes complimentary to you with a $125 purchase. So to be clear again, that $125 purchase will get you the free companion page. It's going to get you the free mini loop border set and the free Doodlebug set. So in all, that's like a $27 value for spending $125 with us. So I wanted to show you that. And the last thing that I wanted to show you is we do have, as far as our final opportunity today, we have a chance to buy our basic bundle Crafty box. And I love our Crafty box. It comes in a nice little pizza box like this. What our Crafty box has in it is it has a 6-pack of Mosaic Moments white 12x12 grid paper like you use today. You're going to receive our basic bundle, which has 6 different die sets in. So 6 different die sets for you. You're going to receive our pattern book, and you're going to receive a free die set, which is our waffles 1x1. So I actually have the basic bundle already unwrapped, so I'm going to show that to you, but I just love the box that it comes in, so I wanted to show you the whole thing already wrapped and the way it's going to come to you. Our basic bundle looks like this. Again, our basic bundle is all of the squares and the 4 sets of rectangles that you need to make your basic mosaic squares and rectangles. And not only that, but it comes with our 1-inch grid die. And what our 1-inch grid die does is it takes a 4x6 photo or a piece of pattern paper and it cuts it into 1-inch by 1-inch squares. What you can do with that then is you can create a mosaic pattern, or you could use it like we did with our card. If I can find our card down here, like we did with our card, and you can use it to make the squares on our card just like we did here. So this is the basic die set. Again, 1 set of squares, 4 sets of rectangles, and the 1-inch grid die. It also is going to come with our Mosaic Moments pattern book. We have a pattern gallery that's free online, but we also have this beautiful printed book for you to be able to take to crops or have by your desk side. And what's nice about our pattern book is it's got over 200 different patterns in of all kinds of different 12x12 pages that you can design using our dies. So if you ever have what I consider to be scrapbooker's block, like writer's block, where you're trying to think of a page or a way to use certain pictures and you're not able to come up with any good ideas, this pattern book helps. Not only does it show you a sample pattern and information about the pattern, but then it also provides you a color-coded pattern. So for instance, my pattern 185 that's right here, I can see my sample up here of what a completed page would look like. I've got my information about the pattern down here, but then I see that it's got a colored pattern sheet. Now the colors that are represented on the pattern here represent the colors of the dies. So for instance, I know that I'm going to need to use my blue, my pink, my purple, my orange, my yellow, and my green dies in order to make this pattern. So I would grab my blue, my pink, my purple, my orange, my yellow, and my green dies to make that pattern. Some don't require that many sets. Some only require sets from, for instance, the blue, the pink, the purple set. I would grab my dies from the blue, the pink, and the purple set. So it really just depends on what I'm working with. I like to go through here and highlight or star my favorite patterns. We're going to send some bookmarks with you so that you can bookmark some favorite patterns to work with. But it's so your basic bundle Crafty box is going to come with the basic bundle die set. It's going to come with your book. It's going to come with white grid paper like we used to put together your photo page. And then it's also going to come with that free waffle 1x1 die set. So that is normally a $225 retail price. We have it on sale for you for $146.99. It is the last opportunity to get it at that price. We have about 40 left. And once we sell through those, we're still going to offer each of the individual items for sale, like the book for sale for $25 and this set for sale for $179.99. But we're not going to offer it as that Crafty box bundle again for $146.99. So normally these die sets alone are $179.99 and the book retails for $24.99 just in and of itself. So you can see that this is a tremendous value. So we wanted to let you know that this is the last opportunity to get that if you do, or if you are interested in that and you like our mosaic scrapbooking. And then the only other thing that I wanted to do with my last couple minutes is just show you some other pages that you're able to create with our mosaic system. So with Mosaic Moments, a lot of people think that we're all squares and rectangles, and for good reason. I've shown you a lot of pages with squares and rectangles on, but you can actually do a lot of different things. What's nice is I like to say that we're a no fussy cutting system, which means that you don't have to use your scissors at all if you don't want to. We use our dies to not only cut our pattern paper and our coordinating cardstock, but we also use our dies to cut our photos. So these 4 square photos on here were cut with the dies. I didn't need to use any scissors on any of this page at all. No fussy cutting involved to make this entire page. This was made using our basic bundle and the mini loop border set, like I talked about in just a moment ago. And this would be available to you. The mini loop border set comes free with a $75 purchase. This is another set that we did. This is using our Beachcomber die set to make these beautiful seashells and stars just to accent our basics page here. This is using our X Factor die sets. And you see here how it's cut these pictures. The pictures are not laid over top, or the blue frames are not put inside or not overlaid or anything. This all is one flat page here, but it accents our pictures beautifully on here. This was done using our ear-to-ear set in the middle to give you a nice Mickey Mouse ear in case you like to visit the theme parks in Florida or California. And you can see I've got my favorite Disney characters around here. And then we've got some little separate small die-cut Mickey Mouse ears in black here, if you like those. This is our Soleil die set with our hot air balloon page. This is our quarter pie die set. This is our crisscross dies that were used to make this page. And again, no fussy cutting involved here. All of the pictures on this page and our green and our blue cardstock here were all done using our crisscross dies. So we cut not only our cardstock, but our photos as well. This is our Diamond Mines dies. This is our corner strips and corner connector dies. This, I love this Harry Potter page. These were Harry Potter pictures I took at Universal in Orlando. This is our X Factor die set, and I used silver paper here because I thought it was just really a nice effect with the Harry Potter pictures. This is Soleil again and our Paw and Bone set. And then I used one of our Diamond Mine 3x3 pieces in the middle here. This is a basic dies page. We have our alphabet number 2 in the middle, and then we have our leaf silhouette 1x3 that's used in each of the top corners. Our clover die set is featured here. This is using our on the dot dies, and our alphabet number 4 spells the word ocean here in the middle. This is our dynamic die set, and I love this page because this is fitting on here 9 pictures, and it's doing it in a really cool pattern, and it's not looking like it's all bunched up or bunched together. I really love that. This is our strip cut 3x4 die and our scallop frame die set. This is our on the dot dies again, and I loved how it made that 2019 here in the middle, great graduation page, or to put a message here in the middle. And this is our numbers 2x2 bundle. And then this is our Horizon 3x5 A and B set. This is our Bliss A, B, and C dies. And then this is Horizon as well, our Horizon 3x5 A and B set. And finally, our X Factor bundle, our X Factor 4x4, 2x4, and it also comes with a 3x4 piece that makes up our X Factor bundle. So I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the many different pages and many different shapes and ways that you can cut your photos with Mosaic Moments and with our dies. Again, we have our grid paper, over 90 different colors. We have our grid cards. We have over 200 different die sets. And one of the nice things is, I know I went through this presentation quickly, but it is going to be available on YouTube. And then on our YouTube channel, if you search Mosaic Moments, we have over 200 different YouTube videos available. I believe now it's over 150 hours of Mosaic Moments content. Basically, every time we put a die set out, we try to put a video out to feature that die set so that you know how to use the new die set that you're going to take home with you. So that is on our website. Again, to remind you, you're going to go to a craftysituation.com to shop. All of our deals are going to be good through September 15th, so you do have plenty of time to shop. All of our deals are good through September 15th. You're going to use the promo code FILM or coupon code FILM. Receive 25% off our dies, our grid paper, our grid cards, our adhesive, and our tools. If you spend $30, you will receive our free film strip fun companion kit, and we have an unlimited number of those available, so anybody's welcome to get one of those. And then again, for the first 75 customers that spend $75, they're going to receive the free mini loop border set, which is a $5.99 value. And if you spend $125, you're going to receive all of the previous gifts, plus you're going to receive our free Doodlebug Companion Pack, which is a $14.99 value. We also have free shipping for any orders over $75. And remember, this is your last opportunity to get our basic bundle Crafty box that I went over. I hope you enjoyed our presentation. I hope that you enjoyed your day crafting along with the Shop at Home Live presenters. This really is the event for the brands that you love. I wanted to thank the Paper Wizard and Queen & Company for putting this event together. We're so honored and happy and privileged to be a part of this event. I thank you for joining in with us. I wish you the very, very best of days or a lot of crafting fun ahead if you're watching this on rerun. Thank you so much and have a great day.